right, it's 7 o'clock. I'd like to call to order the July meeting of the Windsor Township Board of Supervisors. Before we start, I'd like to invite everybody to stand and say the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, before we start the meeting, I just want to make public notification that we went into executive session at 6:30 this evening prior to the meeting to discuss a contractual issue. All right? Okay. Would someone make the motion to approve the minutes of the June 11th meeting of the board?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye. I'm abstaining since I wasn't here last month, so I can't confirm or deny anything.
Okay.
Okay. All right, on the public comment, Mike Pollock.
Good evening. Seeking a little bit of guidance here. I don't know if this maybe would be for supervisors or a planning commission possibly. My next door neighbor, the one who's held ridiculous bonfires in the past, he has a smaller one now. About 6 months ago, 7 months ago, he started moving an amazing amount of dirt from the side of his property and is now built up at least 4 feet. I've got just some personal pictures here, and I'll just explain what's going on. And he's made an extension from his driveway, you know, well out towards 22, so to speak. So I'd say he probably had, just call it 20, 30 feet or more, but it's at least 4 feet in height off his driveway. If we get a heavy deluge, number one, it all takes a right-hand turn right onto our property when we get heavy deluge. This is the same neighbor who, again, I don't trust. He's got some off-kilter friends. I was hoping maybe somebody either from here or the planning commission could come look at our dilemma. First thing that I had 2 police reports done him in the last 2.5 years. One was a knife was left after one of those parties, stuck in on our back patio, and another one where our brake line in our truck was cut also, and was clearly snipped for Laura's mechanic. So those are just things that have occurred in the past with this individual or his friends.
Did you call the state police on those issues?
I did, yes. We went and did file reports on those. But now, 2 Saturdays ago, at 1 o'clock in the morning, a delivery truck showed up with 2 huge containers and a loading platform that now sit right behind, next to our driveway, essentially, just called 15 feet away, 20 feet away tops. Right behind where we just have our sunflower garden. I got pictures of sunflower garden and what he did now, if y'all need, but he's running a business out of there as well. He's running a refuse business, and I've got to assume he's done nothing to ask for any kind of to run a business out of his property. And again, I'm not one to sit there, and I don't want to start a war because I don't trust the things he does, but I don't trust this individual. But I need some guidance. I don't know if somebody from here can come look at what I'm talking about. I have a couple of pictures I could just show you my phone. I don't want to take a lot of time on it, but I don't know if this would be this or the planning commission.
That's something Ryan, well, that's something Ryan can handle. Yeah, Ryan Westner will contact you.
Okay.
Just get it, that you have his contact information. I mean, the township has it as an employee, but
Yeah.
if you want to give her your contact
Yeah.
information,
Look
and then
for
just
it.
give Ryan, have Ryan call you.
Great, okay. That's all. I just need some guidance, kind of how to.
For the minutes, who's the neighbor's name?
Sean, I don't know what his last name is, 2281 is the address on the mailbox, so. What was Sean's name? He forgot it, yeah.
He's not an easy person to develop a relationship with,
Yeah.
so.
So he's the address, the 2281
What's
is
the
his
address?
mailbox address, Sean,
2281.
SCAN, I believe he spells it like that.
Old 22, right?
Yes, he's our
And I
west.
think it's Hamburg.
Yeah, we're in Windsor, he's Hamburg, and it's the west driveway. So it's one past us going towards Hamburg.
Yeah, share your pictures with Ryan.
Will do. All right.
All right?
Yep.
Thank you. Any other public comment? No? All right. We'll move on to the reports, the financial status.
Okay. If you picked up a handout. Just to quickly summarize this, you can see, if you have looked at it previously. Again, the main source of income in our main source of income period for the township is earned income tax, and you notice, and that would represent half of the year, 2,667,000 some dollars. That's the main source of income. We have received, as I said, all of the state liquid fuels monies, and that totaled this year $169,610. If we then look at the bottom, the total amount of monies received so far, there's your total $623,268.03. If you go on the back side, those are obviously the expenses by categories. And you can take notice that it's always nice, obviously, if revenues exceed expenditures. But so far this year, none of the main expenditure items have, for road work have been taken care of. But one of the things that we have done, and this represents line item 411, fire and relief, that represents 3/4 of the payments that go to the fire companies serving Windsor Township. $60,000 total, that's 3/4 of the total amount to be allocated. If you look at the very bottom of the sheet, it shows as of either today or some of the statements come at the end of the month, and you can see the amounts of money that are found in the accounts. Anyone have any questions concerning finances of the township at this point?
Any comment? No? All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, engineer, zoning officer, and code enforcement. Stevens.
Okey-dokey. On the agenda, before I get into the email that I sent, is the Snyder subdivision. That's the one that I attached, the email from Steve Hoffman that said he was fine with the plans. Craig?
It is in the minutes of the planning commission that it's been conditionally approved, contingent upon substantiation from the engineer that those issues have been addressed, and the correspondence I have seen indicates that that is the case.
I agree with you, per the email from Steve Hoffman. So I don't believe these plans, because they were just submitted tonight, were signed by the planning commission. But they now can both be signed by the planning commission and the supervisors. So the supervisors, of course, would need to do final plan approval and authorize the signatures. Correct?
Correct, there would need to be a motion.
Just a matter of procedure, since the planning commission plans aren't there, does it matter if it's approved by the board, we're putting the court before the cart?
Yep, we do it sometime.
We do
but
it
in
sometime.
this case, we don't have to.
There's no rush, I mean, I think you can, because we're in July, so planning, I mean, the only thing is then you won't sign them until September, because planning commission doesn't meet again until August, and they meet after you in the month, so I don't know what his timetable is, but
Well, I mean, if he wanted it rusty, you should have, it would have been
Yeah.
nice if they would have been here to explain that,
yeah,
to let it take its natural course.
yeah, so,
Mr. Snyder, the gentleman that this is benefiting, he's traveling, so he had his dad drop the plans off.
Okay.
So he was not able to be present tonight.
yeah, I mean, you can send it to the planning commission so they can sign them, and then, I don't know if you want to make the well, you probably want to wait to make the motion
Yeah.
until, that way, because otherwise you'll start running into his 90 days to record it. So,
I think that's proper.
Okay, so we're tabling it, and do you want me to email Mr. Snyder that, to attend the August planning commission meeting with the plans to get them signed? and then transport them. They don't stay here. They can stay here, so then at your September meeting, the
Mhm.
supervisor.
Shouldn't the secretary do that?
I'm
Instead
just
of you
saying,
volunteer doing it?
I'm just saying I was the one in communication, doesn't matter to me.
Secretary can do that.
Okay, that's what should happen.
Okay?
Do you have Mr. Snyder's email that Josh?
I'll make sure, but I'll contact him.
I think he was copied on some of those
I think
emails.
so. I think so. All right, so it's gonna be August PC, just for my notes, and September board. Next on the actual agenda is Towns at Harsher Creek. I'm going to ask for some assistance from our solicitor. We met with, or had a Teams meeting, conference call, whatever you want to say, with the attorney for the developer at the Towns. There are some dead trees. They did acknowledge that, but there are also some outstanding issues that we posed to the attorney, and I have not heard back yet from Mr. Mooney, Attorney Mooney. And this includes the PennDOT closeout, the as-built plans being recorded. And of course, we would hold monies for the landscaping to be replanted. The attorney did say that he would extend the agreement for about 3 months after the trees were planted.
Yeah.
Something to that effect, so do you want to speak on that?
He's gonna, I asked him to draft the agreement, an agreement essentially extending the escrow for another 3 months after the trees are planted. We're not gonna have them planted, I think, until the fall, but the maintenance period ends
August 14th.
August 14th. So he's gonna prepare an agreement for me to review, and then we have advised him that it needs to be on the agenda for our August 13th meeting, because this needs to be approved before the maintenance period expires.
However, if the attorney does not get back to us with the PennDOT closeout or the as-built plan recording information, they would need to extend the letter of credit.
And that's motivation for them to get it done.
So,
I'm pretty confident that we'll have this. We had that meeting, I think, was it last week?
July 2nd.
July
according to my
2nd.
notes.
July 2nd.
Mhm.
So we had told him there was a meeting tonight. We did not think that was enough time for him to get the agreement together. I would imagine we'll hear from him probably by next week, I would think.
But be prepared, it may need to be extended if it doesn't have all the closeout information. So August 13th, it'll be on the agenda again. We just wanted to bring everybody up to speed. We did have a good meeting with the attorney.
So all the time for this, for both you,
All goes to the Towns at Kersher.
Yeah, they're gonna reimburse.
and that's being withheld at the bond? Is that where
They,
it's gonna come from?
there is money in the bond. It's about almost $7,000 in admin, and in contingency about $22,000 still being held.
Okay, who's tracking that time?
But that's on my invoice when I submit them. That's
Yeah.
part of those
And Craig,
reimbursable.
you're, have those all collected up
Yeah,
into an
they're
account?
in, we have them on file.
And same thing like we've done before
Okay.
we release the letter of credit, all outstanding fees would need to be paid for any of the outside consultants. And that would be part of the motion on August 13th.
Correct.
Next on the agenda is Mountain Road grant application. That was the PA Small Water Sewer. The analyst, it's just a quick update, had no comments, so that the grant is moving forward in the process. And then you have the LSA grant application for the tandem truck also on the agenda.
Here's, if you look down on new business item number 2, here's the resolution.
I don't have the rest, it's yours, it's yours.
We have to do for the grant, we need a resolution from the supervisors so we can participate in getting the grant, so that's good.
Right.
We can take care of that now. while
We
we're on
can
it.
do that.
Yep.
It's resolution number 11, 2025. But of course, on the blank, it has, in the amount of dollar amount. What dollar amount?
That's what we kind of left up in the air the last time. So, right now, the total build will come to $361,136.82. That's if we order it now. But since this is not gonna be for another year, it's probably gonna go up, but we don't know how much.
At 10%?
So after the 10%, it'd be $397,250.50. That would be the total bill with that 10%.
Does that create any issues by us jacking that number up without any evidence of what the actual cost could be?
Typically, the grants only allow a 5% contingency.
Because also too, they always like in-kind fee costs, like what the township would put towards it. So we could ask for the 361 and then whatever.
Just cover the rest.
Yeah, or we can say, hey, we're gonna give at least 75,000 towards it and drop that down to 286,136.
Well, why not go for the full amount?
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They like to see that with what they call in kind, which would be, so it's not like we're asking for as much as we can, but we're still willing to give some. So I didn't know if you just wanted to say like, hey, we could put, 50,000 or 75,000, but then that would still be covering whatever the difference cost-wise is gonna be, where we'd have to put the bill. So. I wouldn't put the 10% in because, like she
Yeah.
said, they only want to cover 5%. So that would come out of our pocket anyway, so.
And if you do recommend a match, what we call a match, or a local fund commitment, typically then a letter would be drafted and would say the township's committed to this much.
I do have,
Craig.
I have one concern here. If the people on the committee approving this grant are not rubber stampers, and they gave someone else funds for a truck, they're gonna look at that value of that truck as being high. High because you're getting 3 truck bodies with that. Is that gonna be recognized? Is that gonna put those dollar amounts into an area where it's gonna get rejected altogether? I don't know, I'm just
I have no
asking.
idea.
I don't know how it works.
I have no idea, because that's all completely up to them. I have it in the letter I'm working on, that this is what we're building, this is why it's costing this amount, because of the bodies in and stuff. So.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm just
even-
asking.
I gave support letters out, so saying why we're kind of going this route to see, I have no idea.
I mean, we can try.
Anybody can sit there and they'll look at whatever total funds they get, and they'll start looking down and say, hey, we have, say, $3 million. Well, if we got 10 applications and it comes to 4 million, well, we're gonna pick and choose a little bit more. It's gonna be a process.
Is there any way we can, I know they did this at the borough, they're talking about buying a new truck. They were gonna have Jamie Barton write a letter basically of encouragement to put along with the application. You know,
That's
that's
one of the support letters.
Yeah, that, you have,
Yeah.
okay.
And also-
And Get Hard.
Yeah, Get Hard.
And
Yeah,
the 2
okay.
fire companies.
All right,
I have Virginal and Cambridge letters too.
okay.
Hopefully they.
Yeah. I would say with my experience with grants, you want to keep what you have as a quote there. But,
It looks like you're not trying to hide nothing.
correct, but also you're getting really 3 trucks in one, so you really
Yeah.
stress that part. Basically,
Can you
How
put
much
an
is
option
smooth?
to it?
Right.
I mean, can you put like the price of the base truck and one body?
Well, if you have, you
and
probably
use
have
the
it
other
broken
bodies
down
as
what
a
the
body?
base truck costs and what each body costs. Well, they would see that, and that's,
Yeah, because in the quotes, he kind of
Right.
has it a little bit that way.
Yeah, because I wasn't here last month, so I didn't see
That's
those.
right.
Yeah, so
But
that's
yeah,
why I asked.
So, but yeah,
But
the
yeah,
the quotes are gonna be sent with it, so they can see
Mhm.
the total bill breakdown.
But we need a price to put on
Yeah,
this.
right.
this
Yeah,
le-
There
well,
has to be a
resolution.
that's why I
I
know
would do what is
to
this
discuss.
quote paper, what the quote is.
So that's why I figured we
So that,
discuss
on there, we want the 361.
$361,136.82.
Sure, it's not 83, it's 82.
Hey, that's what it came out to be.
Okay.
You can check, you can check my math. Yeah.
361.
Write it on a piece of paper so I don't screw up the amount here.
It's $361,136.82.
361, 136, 82, correct?
Yeah. That's why that blank, because I wasn't sure until we discussed that. So.
361, 136, 82. Okay. Any
Comment on that?
motion and a second to approve, adopt the resolution number 11?
Well, I'd like to make the motion that we adopt resolution 11, 2025 for the new tandem plow truck. Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes have it.
Okay. And out of the agenda, there's a couple other things probably later in the agenda. Do you just want to wait for those?
Which one was that?
This would be the low-volume grant contracts.
It's in your package.
It's in my package.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
Okay. Ben and I received the good news that all 3 grants were approved by the Berks County Conservation District. I'm just going to call it the review board, whatever their formal name is.
QAB.
Thank you. So good news, and then what we were talking beforehand, that the prevailing wage rate situation doesn't come into play because it's, the majority of the work's going to be done by township forces. And the minimum amount that's going to be done with outside township forces will not exceed $25,000 for all 3 grants. So Ben being the person that was trained, and then the certified ECS guy?
ECM.
ECM guy?
ESM.
The certified guy
Sensitivity.
is the one that, yeah, is authorized to sign all the forms, the signatures on them, but of course we would want motions for the township to enter into the grant contracts for all 3 roads, which is Crispin, Strausser, and Balteaser.
Now, these were for the pipe work that we applied for back the end of, well, it was April and May. We had to have it in for May. Now, what we got for the money is just for the materials, not the labor, because the labor was in kind that we were gonna pay. So the figures that they gave was for the materials. So that, and I also helped with the, since we're doing the work, the labor, that's also to help keep the price down so we didn't have to get into the prevailing wage rate.
And that's for all the work to be done on the roads that are going to be overlaid next year, tar and chip.
It comes out to 16 pipes, 5 catch basins included, a couple of retaining walls under drain with it. So that's, at least, we did something right there. We got grants for that. So.
That's good.
Thank you,
job.
Pamela, for helping.
You don't get them unless you
did a Great
ask.
job, you did the bulk of it, so great job.
You don't get them unless you ask.
That's correct. So we're looking for a motion?
Someone make that motion.
We're doing
Low volume.
Low volume, whatever's on the.
Low volume road grant.
I guess you're asking for approval of the dirt, gravel, and low volume road maintenance project agreements that are in the packet.
Mhm.
And authorizing Ben Sonnen
To sign.
to sign on behalf of the township.
Get all that?
Yeah, I'll copy this down then, but
It's at the top of the agreement.
It's in here.
Yeah.
Contract number.
yeah, I'll make sure I get that.
It's actually number one.
Okay.
And do we need to say which roads are? That would be Chrisman, Strausser, and Balthazar.
Yeah, we should indicate that it's concerned those three roads.
Okay.
That way it's clear.
So we all these are Chrisman, Strauss roads for the grant stuff.
Yeah, it's right here. It's Chrisman, Strasser, Balthazar. Right, those are the ones, right? I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes have it.
And then after they get this, then we will get approval. And then we get 50% of the money up front.
I'm not sure.
I think it said 50%
To purchase some
to
materials.
start purchasing, and we gotta hand in receipts, and then they do the 25%, and then once they approve that it's done, then they give us the rest of the money. But that also has to go into a separate account and kept separate. So, when this money comes, because that's the only thing it can be drawn out for. It shouldn't be in that long, but.
Cross that bridge when we get there, right?
Okay, we're good? Next in the packet, and I gave all of the information to Craig, would be the 2025 road project. This is the rebid. We received 3 bids, and Craig has the unopened documents that were submitted today.
You have your pocket knife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need your knife or scissors.
Yeah. Do you have one, Ben?
You can write down the amounts as they're open, so we all have it, okay? There's a couple sheets here, so.
Mhm. That's why we
We
did
don't
it.
have everything over. You may do the honors. Don't cut yourself.
All right, so I'm going to do them in the order that they appear on this spreadsheet.
Okay.
So the first one I'm opening is Construction Masters. Oh, that's a nice knife. Whew. We only are allowed paper paper affairs. All right, there's a bid bond in the package for 10%. All right, so the total for the base bid for Construction Masters is $91,061.05. So 91,061.05. Next one to be open is H&K Group. They also have a bid bond for 10%. And their bid is $111,058.84. So 111,058.84. All right, last one we have is Ronnie Folk Paving. We stapled everything together and looks like there's the bid bond about midway through. Ronnie Folk Paving, $91,682.30. 91,682.30. That's why I said, wow, very close. Very, very close. And then for your sheet, since we didn't receive a package from Saks and Sons, we always rate no bid.
They were the lowest bidder last time.
Yes, and the quantities changed, the notice to proceed changed, and the milling location changed. So there were some changes in the contract.
Ben, do you have any experience with construction masters? Is that-
Yeah, that's CMS.
CMS,
Yep,
we know them
yeah.
as CMS, yeah.
They're the ones that did the Jaeger Road Bridge for us.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that's the result.
Any comment? All right, just gonna make a motion to, looks like Construction Master Services has won the bid. Someone to make that motion to accept that bid. Do we, after a thorough review of the contract, correct?
Yeah, contingent upon
Yeah,
reception of all proper
I
documents.
get it.
I'll cut myself, yeah.
Okay.
Did you make
I'll make that motion, that we accept the bid of Construction Master Services for $91,061.05. Do I have a second?
One second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes have it.
What was the contingent you put on there?
After everything, it needed to be reviewed to make sure everything in the packet is proper.
In the past, we always had it contingent upon reception of all the necessary documentation, paperwork.
Yeah, there could be
That's
something
it.
messed up in there that needs,
It could be.
we have to
That's why
catch,
we usually
try and
check
catch it ahead of
the
time.
bid bond and the other paperwork that's required to be submitted with the bid, correct? Okay, so that's that one. I have it listed, it should be under old business, but that's more for the Route 61. That'll be more for you, Russell, to discuss that item. So we'll wait on that. And the other one that I wanted to bring up that I'm a bit concerned about is Hamburg self-storage. Ryan attended the pre-construction meeting held with the Conservation District to get them started. They have started clearing because you could peek when I'm on Chateau, you can see up the driveway. The plans aren't recorded. There's no escrow established. That's why I attached in the packet the last review letter by GBC. A lot of waivers. I don't know where it stands.
So they shouldn't be doing anything.
Well, they can, it's at their own risk. But if they want inspection, the township shouldn't be paying anybody to do inspections.
No.
Because there's no escrow or memorandum of understanding or anything. So Russell, I'm going to defer to you as to what we should be recommending to the supervisors on this land development plan.
So have the refresh my memory, have the supervisors approved that plan, or is it still?
I think
You
it's
know,
still,
you're talking about the Hamburg self-storage
not
on 60.
Edinburgh,
Yeah.
Hamburg,
Hamburg,
off
right.
Chappelle,
That's the one on
correct.
61.
Yeah, we haven't even talked
Correct.
about the
No,
waivers yet.
that is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of waivers. That's why I attached that letter for your reference.
So what have they exactly done?
Yeah, that's gonna be my question too.
Okay.
Yeah.
What the pre-con with the Conservation District does is it allows them to move forward on what they call the erosion control and NPDS permit work. So maybe some stormwater. So they're permitted to do that, but it's at their own risk. So any of the land development features, if they're not installed correctly, and
It's on them to change.
it's on them to fix it. So if they're just doing the ENS, that's the Conservation District going out to do the physical inspections for it, like the erosion and sediment, the mulch,
Silt
the
socks.
silt socks, the sediment traps, all those features to catch any muddy stormwater. So that's where they're at. But I'm concerned, you know, they're moving fast, and
Well, if there's a mud issue out there, they're gonna deal with the conservation district.
that's that, but in other words, where's the
Not
plan?
Not so much the township, and it's not gonna be a cost to us, they're gonna have to deal with the conservation district.
Correct. But it would be good to know where they stand on their resubmissions. And I copied
Can we
Steve
forward them
Hoffman.
some kind of letter?
I can reach out to their attorney, you know, and see what the status is. This- they have an
And
attorney.
I'll verify financially where they stand with the township.
Do that first.
I will do that, and contact you.
Yeah, because if they are behind financially, then we want to make sure that
Absolutely.
they get caught up as well.
And that would be primarily for Steve Hoffman, GVC's plan reviews and things. There's very minimal time I've spent coordinating this, so
Right.
it's mostly GVC's invoices.
Right, but I also don't want to put in billable time
No.
against it if they're behind.
So maybe next month we'll have more of an update for that. And then the last one I have is the weight limit signs. James Stevens from Jamie Barton's office reached out to me, and he asked for a copy of the PennDOT letter and was going to have Mr. Barton then reach out to PennDOT.
Oh, he didn't, after I went into the office, Jamie hadn't talked to him yet?
Not to the, they were waiting for the copy of the letter, which was the March letter. So he has that.
Yeah, because I gave him a copy when I went into the office.
And they just were confirming like the background and everything.
Okay.
And so I gave him any other information he needed, and I have not heard back from James from Jimmy Burton's office yet. Because remember, we discussed to monitor the number of trucks.
Yeah, you talked about that last month. What,
'Cause
refresh my memory, because I watched the video, but I didn't catch all of it.
PennDOT more or less said that we're not supposed to put the signs on 61 until we can prove that there's still trucks going down over the weight limit of Port Clinton Avenue. So right now, we did put one sign north and
Yeah.
one sign south, but if anything happens to them, it's on our time to, you know, they're not gonna do anything. Because really, there should be 2 to 3 north and 2 to 3 south, warning, no turns.
Yeah, you just have one in each direction.
And stuff, yeah, because we weren't gonna go and put more out, because really, they can come and take them down, because we didn't get their permission to put them up. Yeah. I had an LTAP class today, which the instructor was Marvin, that I was in contact with for their traffic counting earlier this spring. And I said to him about PennDOT wants us to monitor the road to see how many vehicles are coming down it. It's supposed to 8, 12
9
months.
months, it's
And
a
so
long period of
It was a
time.
ridiculous time. So he said I should send him the info. I should email the info. They will come out a week in September and like a week in November, because their counts will tell us, it breaks it down for motorcycles, cars, pickups with trailers and stuff, and even triaxles and tractor trailers. So we have an amount to say, hey, if we see there's traffic still coming over the 15 tons, we can send a letter, you know, to kind of have proof to say, hey, we need these extra signs on there.
When is that stuff coming out again?
It'll be September.
September,
and
November.
Yeah. Because he said about the end of November, I said, no, I said it should be better beginning of November, just in case we get snow. So, but at least right now, I know the signs got noticed. I don't know if they're paying attention to them, but I know some truckers took notice to it because they're having a fit about it, but there's other ways to get around it. So,
A fit at which end?
oh, they don't.
The north end or the south end?
Oh, they want to go both ways, and so.
Well, on the south end, that's why we involved the borough with it, because, you know, we want to let them have the say of when they want to.
Because they're like, how do we get around? There's plenty of ways to get around. But no, they want to avoid town. Well, you can go other ways, but still avoid town. So. And the one guy made the comment, I said, well, how are you getting home? Well, I come down 4th Street and turn on Port Clinton. I said, well, that's funny because Borough has signs up already that says no triaxle trucks in that section. And he just looked at it.
Yeah.
Well, there were already signs up, you weren't supposed to be on there, it's just, now they're waiting on it. And then I told him, I said, well, you go and start paying to fix the road up, we'll take it away. Well, then we kind of walked away from that, so,
And the PK nails were set.
yes.
Yeah, that was done a couple months ago.
Yep.
So, but the signs are up and they got noticed.
How do we monitor it though?
Well, that's one thing we can't really do. So now, since we had the signs up until September, they, you know, if they're gonna ignore them, they're gonna ignore them. But at least then we still say, hey, we can. That's kind of one way we can say, hey, there's still trucks coming down, or at least maybe only that week there might be some coming down. But now again, the other week when 61 buckled northbound, guess where they were detouring? So, yeah, PennDOT was detouring.
I'm gonna ask the chief of police in Hamburg, they have something at the intersection of 3rd and Grand Street, chained to a pole, and I don't know if it's for traffic monitoring or not.
Well, there's a whole bunch of them.
They're at the traffic lights.
Do you know what it is?
I don't know, there's one right in the firehouse.
Yeah, I noticed it last week.
Yeah, there's one at the firehouse I saw.
They're at the traffic lights at 4th and Pine, 3rd and Pine, State and Pine, 4th and State also. They're PennDOT.
Let me try and find out what those are all about.
I think they're counted.
Yeah, but there's no strips across the road.
No, but they're
It's-
electronic. I think they're tied in with the light to see like how many cars, how many vehicles go through. Like, they have counters that can say how many vehicles are coming up and then determine which way they're going.
Well, this is on, that's the one that I saw was at 3rd and Grand, and then stop signs. And those aren't state roads. Okay, I'll try and find out what they are.
And except for the State Route 61 PennDOT agreement, that's all I have this evening under engineers and on the agenda.
All right. Any other further comment?
When are we gonna bring this up?
You can do it now if you want.
Would you like it done now?
Sure. That's fine.
Just so the public knows and the people watching the camera at home today and in the future, we had an executive session to discuss this invoicing. Pamela, is SDE going to reimburse us for the second advertisement?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, because we could
And-
not,
And do we need to bill SDS for that?
what's going to happen, my understanding, is that the Reading Eagle, we don't have a contract or an agreement with Reading Eagle. So Reading Eagle will invoice the township, and we've already spoken with Craig, and Craig's forwarding us the invoice for the advertisement so that we can
So
pay it
we-
directly or I would recommend we would pay it directly. with the
Yeah, but the
township.
invoice is made out to Windsor Township, not to SDE.
That's correct, because there's only a contract with Reading Eagle with Windsor Township, not SD, but we will
So-
be responsible to cut the check.
So what is it worth out?
What we can do is, if something we see when everything is fixed, I'll make sure SDA gets it, and then they can pay for
And
it.
then we pay for it.
You said you have the invoice.
If it came, it's with the material of the day, you know.
Okay.
You know, but when everything can be sorted out, I'll make sure that that's forwarded to your firm.
That's correct.
And then you guys will take care of it financially, right?
We've spoken about that, yes, that we will take care of the second half. That is absolutely correct.
Okay, and the second question here in this line of concerns is Russell Farbiar sent us an invoice for last month's services. And between the various emails and legal research that took place on this, the township incurred another $855 in charges right here. So is SDE going to reimburse us for that?
Well, why don't you forward that bill?
Here it is.
And I
Everybody
will-
can see, oh, I'm sorry. Thanks.
Thanks, George.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, so what I wrote down is that SDE is going to reimburse the township if this hasn't been paid.
No, we're going to pay Russell because it's an
Right.
invoice to the
We
township.
will reimburse the
Township,
township for.
$855.
That is correct, because of the rebid.
Right.
That's what I just wrote
Thank you.
down, okay?
Thank you.
And is this my copy to take with
You
me,
can
or do
keep
you
it.
need that?
No, I can print another one off if need
Okay.
be.
You got it.
And since the last meeting, the last concern regarding this, since the last meeting, I reached out to your office and they forwarded me the old bid packet.
Yes,
And I could not open it tonight. I opened it before and now I forget. It was, what was it, 30 or 40 pages long roughly? Am I remembering right?
no, these documents approach about 300 pages.
300 pages? Okay. So, we reviewed this last month, but I just want everybody to understand the concern in the public. Again, we paid $4,200 for that bid. Of all those pages, there was only a small handful of pages of work that was done on it. The rest is all legal stuff that's been done over the years and challenged and probably rewritten and addressed over the years. So there's 3 or 4 pages and we're paying the bill. We're going to approve to pay the bill tonight, but I just think that we're getting gouged at $4,000 for 3 pages of work. Prevailing wages was on here, spent 5 hours on that, and there's nothing in that was done. It was a standard form, okay? We're going to pay it, but I'm just want everybody to know how dissatisfied we are with it. That's all I have, Dave.
Any other comment?
No.
All right, Pamela, you got all that?
Yep.
All right, thank you. And if that's it for that, we'll go on to the fire service report. You guys have anything for us tonight?
Did you get my quarterly report?
Yep.
Okay. Are there any questions on that?
Right.
I signed the last paperwork for the USDA loan for the truck. Thank you for the letter, that helped immensely. So everything is locked in now. Now we wait till they start building.
All right. You have anything, Mark?
No, mine was also sent in, so you guys have any questions on what I sent in?
No. No, I don't have any comment.
The only other thing that I have is July 19th, next Saturday, we're going to be going on the training site to do some evolution trainings down there. And then August 9th, we're having a community yard sale. It's on our Facebook and on different websites. So that's open to the public to come up and set up community yard sale. For a little fundraiser.
All right, sounds good. Bring all your stuff.
Yeah.
All right, any other comment? No? All right, thanks, guys. All right, on to the roadmaster. What do you have, Ben?
Well, last month we mowed the shoulders on all the roads. And as we discussed earlier, we got the 15-ton weight limit signs, got them up on Portland Avenue. They're also in the Hamburg Borough and West Brunswick side. So those are up and going.
Are you gonna keep the triangles on them until everything is approved through PennDOT? I mean, it's what, 90 days?
It's supposed to be 90 days.
But keep them up.
Okay. So, because they're actually, they're treated so they're not supposed to fade like the old ones did. So they're supposed to last almost as long as the signs now.
Mhm.
So they're not just temporary anymore. So, had a couple trees come down with all the rain and everything, but between the fire companies, thank yous for helping. So, other things to mention, plow tires need from Cantners and stuff. Because we had those, actually I had 3, it's actually 2 tires went bad last year. So I'm gonna drop them off at Cantners to get redone and ready to go.
If you put new bearings in them right away, still wanna give you that tube of grease
Oh, okay.
to use.
So, the other thing is, I know we're applying for the tandem plow truck. But that won't be here for 2 to 3 years, because till they award it, won't be till next October. Then till we order it and upfit, it's probably gonna be closer to 3 years till we see it here. Truck 5, which is our international truck, is still at the garage yet. It's only been here 7 weeks this year. It's been over there more than here.
I thought they fixed that seal at the
No.
drive shaft.
They can't get it to stop leaking. So,
Did they try a speedy sweep?
I don't know what they did. He's so frustrated and stuff. I said, well, you're holding me up. I need it back. Well, it's gonna be leaking. You gotta do something to fix it. Either get us a new housing, because that's about the only thing that hasn't been replaced on there. I'm thinking it's a hairline crack somewhere.
What, in the housing?
Yeah. When it was here, it seemed like it was coming out of the top, like towards the breather, or the rear seal and stuff, where the rear plate goes on. He said, no. He said, they actually blew seals out because they pressurized it with air and blew them out because they were trying to find where this is at. It comes out when you drive, it'll sit there and it won't leak, but as soon as you drive it, it comes out. So to me, it was like when it builds up pressure, it pushes out. So they went and put new seals in, they pressurized it, they blew them out, they put new seals in, they put a new vent in, it still leaks. So because he's so busy, he just keeps getting pushed off. I said, well, I need it by the end of the month. And so this is ridiculous because it's over there how many months now? So I know it keeps getting moved, so I don't know how much they actually are looking at it, but I know it keeps getting moved around.
And that's over 61.
Yep. So I just talked to Chad on Monday again. So I'm like, we need the truck. So,
No, and that truck, you know, we've been dumping money into it and stuff. And that was here when I first started
05.
as a supervisor. That was the newest truck at the time. Yeah.
What kind of truck is it?
It's an international 7400.
Transmission outputs?
Well, it's the 4-wheel drive unit, that's the front axle that's giving us
Transfer
issues.
case.
Well, no, it's actually the front.
The axle.
Yeah, because last year, that was August, September, we started having issues with it. And here, the left side, they were busy, so we took it out to Lola Moyer. They replaced the left axle, the kingpins, and I forget what else.
Bushing in the
Yeah.
drive axle.
Well, then, in February, when we were using it, it locked up on us. And so we took it over there, they replaced the right side and everything else. So we have all brand new innards, but now we're having a leak.
At the input.
Yeah, because actually the pinion gear locked up and sheared all the teeth off of it. And so, because the bearing went out from the input shaft. And so, but now they had it, we brought it back, we drove it from there, brought it back, there was a small puddle underneath. We drove it to haul mulch, we came back, there was like 2 quarts of oil laying underneath it the next day. So it went back and it's been back there ever since. Because they can't get it to stop leaking now. So, sad part is, we dumped about $32,000 into it, and the whole front end would be $28,000. So, but we didn't know that at the time, that it was gonna take all these parts.
Is it a Merc or axle or 7,200?
7,400. It's a 16,000 pound front axle.
International. I'll dig through some of my files. I do have some old stuff on it. See if I can find it.
Because I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
But I don't want to keep having to dump gear oil in it either.
Right.
So,
Yeah, we don't want to keep dumping money into that truck. Like I said, that's the oldest one,
Yes.
the oldest one we have.
But for the grant, I did get quotes for both of them because we weren't sure what way we were going. So that way you can see the difference on the prices. But even now, if you decided to do a single axle, you know, to get rid of this one and stuff, we're still looking at 2 years and stuff. Because it won't get ordered, well, it won't get manufactured until April or May. And then until it goes to the upfitter, well, that's almost a year, so we're looking at 1.5 years from now, if not 2 years.
Well, it's time to start to process it.
So either way, we're looking at 2 years or maybe 4 years to get a truck. So it's how much are you gonna keep trying to keep this truck on the road?
And we don't want to let it have it, let us sit in the wintertime when we need it
Because,
either.
well, that's what I'm afraid of. Because we barely made it through last winter. And so we only had one storm after it did go down on us. Luckily, it was just a snow to rain event that.
That was the storm that I plowed. They came back and
That's
parked,
what- that's what
yeah, they
I
came
found.
back and parked the truck.
Because when I backed out, I shed it, banged and carried on. So by the time I got over there, he went to move in and it was locked up.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, they called me and I said, just go park it. You know, 'cause we didn't know what was wrong with it.
but when I was doing the grant info, single axle truck, it was actually an international from Ascendance truck, which they bought out 5-star. So they're in Reading, Allentown, Harrisburg. It's
In the video, didn't you have 3 trucks?
yes. So, but going with the cheapest bid was Ascendance, and then Ian Cooks to fit the body. And that came to $232,786.
Chassis and the front.
That's a complete truck, snow plow, spreader, and it's a 4-wheel drive truck.
What year is the truck that's of concern?
2005.
Is it 2000, how many miles does it have on it?
26,000 something.
26,000 miles.
Yeah, they don't get a lot of miles, but they're hard miles. There's a lot of weight hanging.
Because before I came, pretty much they sat all summer and only went out a little winter.
You know, we do have 350,000 in reserve in the general fund, and of course you can use 20%
20% of
state
liquid fuels.
money.
I think you have about 140, 130?
133 in the equipment.
So,
I mean, that'd get us, you know, we could get a truck ordered.
Yeah, because like I said, it won't be, you know, we can order the truck, because like I said, it won't come till next summer sometime anyway.
When do you pay for it?
So, well, when we get it and stuff, so,
So you could order it without any money going out, is what you're explaining.
yeah. Unless he finds one on, since they're a bigger, sales outfit, they have more stores, unless they find one somewhere else that meets our specs. You know. But other than that, to order it, it won't be, because he said even to order it's 120 days just for the front end to get ordered. Because of four-wheel drive.
That's the thing that you'll wait for, because that's how many people buy four-wheel drive trucks that size.
But then he
It's
said,
not really that
he
common.
said once the front end's in, then it's 6 to 8 months to the chassis delivery. But, you know, so,
Any other comment?
If it's necessary, it's necessary. What can you say?
but
Any
then,
comment?
when that comes, we will be getting rid of the international truck. So,
And
unless
we'll get
you want to
something
hang on
for
to it for a backup.
Ah.
So,
Yeah, why? We won't have no place to put it other than outside.
we're not gaining anything with this truck than what we have now.
Yeah,
But-
we spent a lot of money on it the last couple of years.
Well, pretty much close to 60,000 since 2021. So,
Do we need any formal paperwork with that? As far as getting things going? I mean, he has three
He has the
quotes.
quotes, it's not going through the grant.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is, the only thing is just to check with Charlie if he needs something, if we're planning on using some of the equipment fund, which I think you wanted to do that.
did we have to do that before? Did we have to get any notice or PennDOT?
There's a certain percent, and every year that you do there's a certain dollar amount that you can use. You can
And that
use all of it.
That 20% will come out of next year's liquid
Well,
fuels.
right, but then, of course, you have what's left over. If you didn't expend it in a certain year, then that you can carry over into
Yeah.
the next year.
This year, with cutting back on the road work and getting the grants, that definitely cut down. So, because the pipe grant, that comes to 30-some thousand.
Yeah, it's money we're not
So,
spending.
Yeah, so that we can shift over to.
And we did estimate about 100,000 for that, the base repairs.
Yes, yes.
So we are within that budget.
So we'll go within our budgeted numbers for.
Do you have an actual quote, or you just got a posted
Nope.
note?
I got-
You got an official quote?
Yep.
Okay.
You know, in my opinion, if it's proven that we need, from what you had just said, that because of all the circumstances, prices obviously aren't gonna go down. So if this is going to be in the works to be done, then it would be,
Because now too, I don't think any of this would be hit with the tariffs, but.
it's just gonna go up anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna go up, yeah, it's gonna go up no matter what, but that's the only other thing that might really throw it up is the tariffs. You know, we can figure it's gonna go up roughly 10% every year, so, you know.
I mean, I'm all for moving on it, because we're just gonna have issues just coming this winter, and then what are we gonna do? I mean,
I'm
we have to
actually-
make it last until we get this thing outfitted.
Because I'm actually nervous because nobody really wants to drive it anymore. You know.
Oh, yeah, we had that steering issue with the Freightliner
Mhm.
the other year that we fortunately got straightened out, but we spent a lot of money on that gearbox, the steering box and all that
Steering
stuff.
box and steering shaft and arms, so.
Yeah, that was scary.
What did y'all think?
Yeah, that was scary.
Just because you turned this way and the truck went that way.
I had a
That was
lawnmower
just a
like
steering
that.
issue.
What's that?
So we had a lawnmower like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, somebody want to make a motion on moving forward with the lowest bid of the four-wheel drive truck to get that thing in motion?
Single axle. Do you need to know what it is, international and,
What, for the minutes?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna make a copy of some of this stuff, so I have it. would have that.
You know, let me write the total price on that quick. so you have that.
Ben, you sure you have the right transmission ratio for the engine and all that stuff matched up?
This is actually more horsepower.
Well, whatever, but I'm just saying to you, is it the
What we
right
have now.
spec'd out for the use?
Yes.
It is.
Because the only thing I had was, it's only a 14,000 pound front end, where I would have preferred 16, but it's the motor and the transmission, it's actually the same transmission we have now, and it's 80 horsepower more than what we have now. And this one, when you get into anything like 8 inches of snow or more, it was a dog. It wouldn't, you had to really push and baby it to get through, so. With the extra, and then actually it's good tires on too. I spec'd it with the Windsor tires instead of the rim slicks that's on our Freightliner, so.
All right, someone make that motion?
As you see.
What was the total bid there? 232,786. That's between the two.
And this one will fit in the garage.
Yeah, it's the same as what we have. Same body, same plow, same spread. So we can use the parts that we have.
Is there any way we could use the old plows? Didn't we buy a lower plow when
That's
Angie was
that's
using
on
it?
the Freightliner.
The lower one's on the Freightliner.
Because that one came with that truck, and we had replacement parts on there. We replaced the wheel assemblies, the one snapped off. That was in 22, one of those snapped off, so we replaced that. And then, once the window was done, we wound up cutting the other one off because that one was wore too. So, we've been replacing parts.
Yeah,
on
I
that,
know
so.
those things spin like crazy.
That one plows so nice, I really don't want to get rid of it, but I know it's gonna keep taking
Well, and
part.
we'll get money for all that stuff when we sell the truck and sell the plows and everything. I mean, they're gonna be with spreaders, you know, so we're gonna
It's
get some money
It's
back.
gonna be a complete truck, instead
Yeah.
of, oh, I have a truck, but now I need this or that to go with it. So,
And who is, what's the firm?
that's a silent truck right there.
Is that Berks County?
Yeah, it used to be 5-Star International,
Okay.
they're out at, like,
Over in 78.
down at Reading on 5th Street, across from Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh,
down
okay.
there.
Yeah, that used to be international.
Yep, that one. They have Harrisburg, they have a place in Allentown. There's a place over in York. This guy I was talking to, Bill, back, the salesman, he's actually out of the the Harrisburg store. So,
Do
but
we
he
need to put
covers-
this out for bid
Mhm.
before we do anything?
But I thought it was co-stars.
Are they co-stars?
Yes.
Yeah,
Then it's co-stars now.
Yeah, everybody was co-stars.
yeah.
Because I had
Okay.
I
Berman,
made sure it was
I
co-stars.
had Berman, a little more, and,
So we need to make
everybody's
sure it's in the
co-star.
motion now, I would say,
Yeah.
that it's all co-stars.
If it's, yeah, if you said it's co-stars, the bidding is not necessary, correct?
That's correct, but you just want to make sure that it's in your minutes that these are all quotes from co-star vendors.
Because that was one thing, it even says in the bid, it's co-star stuff. Because I had to, like I said, I had from Berman, which is down at Leesport, Lola Moyer from Fogelsville, and then I had Trias and EM Kutz for the upfitters. So those are the ones that got back to me first.
And your recommendation would be this?
Yes.
Someone make the motion? I'll make the motion that we pursue this truck from Ascend Truck Centers.
Ascendance Truck Centers. And the amount is $232,786, right?
And that is a co-star price.
Right.
And do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Get the ball rolling.
And hang on to this so I can do the minute stuff.
Yeah, that was always Paul's favorite truck.
Yeah.
I think Paul drove that all the time.
It's a nice truck.
Yeah.
but
It's work.
it served us, for what we used it for. Other thing coming up is our township's 275th anniversary in 2027. So thinking ahead, I'd like to see if you want to do a celebration and get or at least think about that and then get like a voluntary committee together.
Yeah, we did the 250.
Yeah, just did the 250.
And that was out of the park for a community picnic.
Yeah.
Ask around and see if there's any.
Volunteers.
Why
do I always see one hand?
Only if we're allowed to have a horse show.
Hey, do you have
Pony
a
rides?
covered wagon?
No, no wagons.
Oh, you can see you can come up
We
like.
dress our trailer.
When is it?
It'll be in 2027. Yeah.
Township.
Yeah. So 275th anniversary. So now that's one thing, we gotta put a committee together to figure other stuff out, like when and everything, so.
Well, I think Ben should be the head of that committee since he brought it up. Run with it.
I'll run out of here. I don't mind helping, you know, I got ideas, but, yeah. We need community support with it too, so.
It's been a long time since the park saw something like that.
I mean, I don't have the other grant to have it dressed up.
Yeah, that's what, September?
I think so.
We'll find out.
Something like that. And actually, well, the other one I had on for the resolution for the tandem truck, so. I was gonna bring up about the winter maintenance for West Brunswick, the snow pond contract, but that didn't arrive.
What, from them or?
Yeah. I wanted,
Yeah, that's gotta go on.
Yeah, so, but they, October 1st that starts. So I was hoping that they would get it to me so we could discuss it and get it back to them, and that way they could approve it for October. Yeah, everybody
For their-
being
for their
agreement.
budget.
Yeah, and stuff, so, but that didn't get to me.
No, so you keep hounding them.
But that's all I have.
All right, well, I want to thank Ben for going out. I had a phone call about with all this rain, we're having a lot of loose stone washing down Thorn Alley and depositing on Maple Lane right there at the intersection and that stuff. And when we were at the auction in February, we bought that new weed whacker, but it also converts into a power broom. And Ben used it for the first time and it worked really well. And even if you need it in the park, that thing is great for getting stone out of the grass as well. Yeah, those things work pretty slick. Yeah, and we got a good deal on it.
Yeah, that was a very good deal on that.
So, all right, thank you. We're going to parks. Do you have anything, Mike?
Two new bookings, one for August, one for September. We're pretty much almost booked out here for a straight 7-8 weeks on the weekend. So, kind of just crank it up to a little more busier time. And that's been mowing about once a week and weed eat every other time. About it.
Yeah, the grass is coming in pretty nice with all this rain.
Yeah, once a week is fine.
Yeah, it's thick.
Oh, Mike, if you see any kind of brown holes about this big around between the ball diamond and the volleyball net and
Yeah.
over near between the pavilion and the stage, I just took soil samples.
Okay.
So the grass might die. With the rain, it probably won't, but I dug it out, did like a plug and stuff, but if you start seeing circles.
Got it.
Yeah, while we have you, did you get that garage door fixed?
Oh, yes. they were
Because
here.
remember when we talked on the phone, you had said, I watched the video and that stuff, and the only thing that got shot down was in the park. And we couldn't think of what the fourth one was.
Yes.
And you guys made a decision on Kenny Repper fixing Fuller Hill?
Yes.
Okay.
But with the rain.
Yeah, it washed again.
Well, no, he keeps getting pushed off because of the rain. We're on the schedule.
Yeah, but it looks like it washed a little more.
Yeah. So it did wash a little bit more. So, but
Okay.
he didn't get over because of every time it's raining.
All right, yeah.
So, we were scheduled twice already, but then with the rain, they just pushed it over, so.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, Solicitor, Mr. Farbiars.
Okay. On the Route 61 service walk issue, I went back and I looked at ordinance 41, which is that Pamela had suggested. That's our nuisance ordinance. We don't have a property maintenance code in the township, and essentially what we would be, my understanding is that what we would need is an ordinance that says that these folks have to maintain these service walks. I think that goes into a whole bigger issue of whether or not philosophically the township wants a property maintenance code, because it would be the first ordinance, that would really direct residents that they have to maintain a part of, outside of, the uniform commercial construction code or, some of those the other codes. So I wanted to bring that back up to you because it's a little bit, more than just, oh, we're gonna tweak this one ordinance. I think you have to.
Didn't we have something, because I think we had to have something because there's one stretch of sidewalk in Windsor Township, and that's out in Edinburgh along Old 22. Wasn't there something in there that, somewhere that they had to maintain that? Was it in our snow policy?
It might be in the snow policy. I don't remember specifically, but I know that the planning commission has discussed property maintenance codes, in the past and has always declined to go in that direction. So I don't know if this is something you want them to look at again, at least related to this issue, but I don't think it's, oh, let's go adjust this one ordinance really quickly, and I think you want to have a little bit more thought going into philosophically what you're willing to do.
Oh, yeah, check the snow policy. I remember talking about that before when we did all that stuff. I mean, it's just like in town. 4th Street is a state road, and everybody has sidewalk in front of their house, and it's technically in their right of way. And PennDOT does not take care of it. That's the agreement.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we should have it as well, in my opinion.
That would be another step, next step.
I think going to the planning commission to sort of discuss this might be the next step. If you're all in agreement on the direction you want to go, that's fine too. But I think it's a little bit more involved. So I wanted to bring that back to you.
And wasn't there a representative from PennDOT that you said, that if there's any,
Yeah,
should we correspond with him?
I forwarded the email to all of you, so you have, his first name is Dave, his last name started with an M, and so you'll have his email address, and he did say, any one of you can reach out for questions, et cetera, et cetera. So, yes, that would be my recommendation to.
So this has gone 180 degrees since the last meeting.
Well, that's why I wanted to bring it back to you.
Right. So before it was no big deal, now you're telling us it is a big deal. So, again, if we do nothing, what's the ramifications here?
My understanding is that then potentially, so these service walks allow these individuals on 61 to access, they access like their mailbox or whatnot. PennDOT may shear off part of that service walk when they widen the road. Whereas if we have this provision, then PennDOT would have to work around the service walks. Is that what?
It's twofold.
Okay.
You're right about if they widen it, they're going to cut off what they need to widen. But then the next step further is that PennDOT has the right to remove the whole service walk within their right-of-way, because there's no maintenance agreement.
Well, they're gonna have HOPs with each individual property owner, correct? As far as what's gonna happen on their property?
That's the different contractor. Remember I said that was Alfred Benish, that's not.
Oh, okay. I just thought I remembered.
So Pamela, I hear what you're saying, but it seems odd to me that this is the current road, this joint right here. They want to move over here and cut the road here. Why would they go over here and take the sidewalk off at this level?
Because they don't want to maintain anything within their right of way.
But have we ever seen that done before? To go over here and
Yeah.
take more away? I mean, at least, we're making an assumption here that seems pretty wow
But that's,
to me.
it's not. Every time PennDOT goes in to do a new section of roadway, all of this gets revisited.
So this is where they moved this is where it's at now, they widened it to this point here. Their right-of-way's here, so you're saying they're gonna go to the right-of-way and wipe it clean, and then put the road over here?
The service walks that are in the right of way
I
will
understand.
more than likely be removed if there's no agreement.
Agreement or ordinance?
Well, it's the agreement has to be signed.
By each property owner? Or by
No,
the township?
Township. That's the agreement that was forwarded with the plans and information. So, again, the PennDOT person said, please call him. Any questions you have, call him directly, email him, and he'll explain everything.
So do we have a working relationship with the project manager there to ask them if they're going to do that?
That's the person that's in the email.
Okay, have you asked him if they're gonna go back and take everything out of there right
Yeah,
away?
he said they have that right, they will.
Well, they might have that right, are they going to do it?
More than likely.
He's
Talk
not
to him
gonna-
directly.
He's not gonna commit to it, one way or the other, is would be my assumption.
And that would all
Yeah.
come on their final plans. I mean, I don't think those plans aren't finalized. I mean, just like stretched out on 61.
Yeah, I think it's pending for
Going through
2026
Ridge
into
Lawn.
2027.
So
Yeah.
you wanna write an ordinance, amend the ordinance that says, if you're not gonna use it, don't touch it. They're here now, they're gonna go to here, their right of way is here, what you're writing an ordinance say, if you're not gonna move the road to here, don't touch that service walk.
So,
Nothing about the road, it's within their right of way.
so what the
And
ordinance,
this is the right of way,
would
there's a sidewalk here coming from that front door to here. They're not gonna use this part. You wanna amend or change the ordinance to state that they can't, if they're not gonna go use their total right of way, they can't use that, touch that sidewalk.
so the ordinance would essentially have to put the obligation of maintaining the service walk on the property owner, because PennDOT doesn't, right now, if it's in the right of way, technically PennDOT has an obligation to maintain it.
You mean like shovel snow off the sidewalk in the winter? When you say maintain it, what,
Yeah,
Yeah.
maintain it, repair, if,
has that done happen anywhere?
no,
Okay,
no,
now
no.
that's what I'm saying, this is so bizarre to me, okay?
Welcome to government. What Pamela's saying is that, now, these things have been there for forever. Now when PennDOT comes back in, they see these and they say, well, we want to get rid of this obligation. They're no longer willing to just look the other way because they're already there.
Right.
So now if you have an ordinance that says, property owner, you have to shovel the snow and fix the cracks and whatever happens, then PennDOT says, fine, we won't worry about this. But if there's no such ordinance, then they're concerned that someone's gonna come back at some point and say, PennDOT, you need to come out here and move the snow, and you need to fix these cracks. And they don't want that obligation.
It's happened before. It happened in the borough. There was an individual that lived up on Girard Avenue, and they never put curbing in on his property, and he would not mow the grass from the property out to the street. There was a strip of grass, and we would have to go out there every week and make 3 passes with the lawnmower because he was not mowing.
Because it was in the right of way.
Yeah, and that just basically protects us. Well, and the property owners, it protects PennDOT with what they're doing.
So again, contact.
So let's, just so, if we make a blanket ordinance, right? And we have a township road at this joint right here. The property owner, it could be anybody's property, it starts right here. There's a bank or grass strip. There's an ordinance that the residents in law have the area, what is it, Ben? You can't have the weeds a certain height, they can be cited.
That's ordinance 41, that already exists.
So who's supposed to maintain this then? The property owner that goes out to the road or the township then?
We already maintain it.
Yeah,
That's
technically
why
the
we move
township.
the shoulders and stuff. We already maintain it.
On township roads.
Yeah, on township roads.
And then do you have a
And there's a
mowing,
lot of farmers' fields.
Yeah.
We mow along a lot of farmers'
do you have a
fields.
So we
mowing
can do it
contract?
at residents.
Yeah,
too,
and
so-
the residents as well, but
Well,
if you think
No,
about it.
They don't have a
you're-
mowing contract with PennDOT?
It was called,
Yeah, we left ours
You
expire.
let it
yeah,
go,
yeah, we let it go.
which usually never enough money.
Yeah, it was costing us more than what they.
I mean, it just, you know, for where you live on Sunday Road, if you look at your deed, your property line is probably the center of the road.
Probably, yeah.
You know, we just have right of way and put cartway in that right of way. We have the right to do that, and we have the right to do anything.
Actually, in my case, the pins are not on the road, they're off the road.
Well, those are right of way pins. See, because it's the same way at my place. It's basically, mine are like 7, 8 feet off the edge of the road. But if you go from that pin to the center of the road, let's say it's 17.5 feet, then we have a 35-foot right of way.
Typically 33.
Well,
Okay,
whatever, I'm just
so
using
kind
that.
of- So this is so kind of dry, why are you reluctant, Russell?
Just because over the last 15 years, the planning commission and the township has been not resistant, but reluctant to implement any sort of ordinance that imposes a maintenance requirement on a property owner. So because we had not discussed that aspect of it specifically, I wanted to bring it back to you to make sure that you still wanted that to proceed.
It's just like the driveway ordinance. If somebody needs to put a pipe under their
Right.
driveway along the edge of the road, we put it in the ordinance that the township will not be responsible for that pipe.
Right. It becomes a policy decision for you three to make, and I didn't want to draft the ordinance and then you say, well, we don't want to adopt this policy.
I'm not saying for or against it, it seems to me there's a lot of gray area in this whole thing, back and forth both sides.
Give the guy from PennDOT a call.
Yeah, you know, I don't think this
Your
is,
concerns.
I don't think this is something like, you know, we want to get this done, but I don't think it has to be done next month. So if you want to talk to the guy at PennDOT,
Pennoni.
Benoni.
Well, Jared, just look at 61 Fort Clinton Avenue. You know, they know you need to have requirements to say, hey, you know, there's signs ahead, you know, is up under that, you know, you can't outthink PennDOT, because they'll just come back with something completely different. So,
Forward me his contact information.
You have it.
I do?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure. And I'll hold off until I hear from the board on how to
We can
proceed.
table it.
Yep. I saw in the minutes that you adopted the ordinance, the resolution on the pension fund. Did you sign that last month, or did you?
That's right. In fact, I had spoken to PSATs today. The
Okay.
paperwork is in the works, and I'm just waiting for a response as to when we can work out the technicalities.
Okay, sounds good. And I don't believe I have anything else.
Any other comment? All right, thank you. All right, then we go on to old business. Phone for the roadmaster. I saw you talked about that last month. We've been talking about it way too long now, and, you know, Ben has made his feelings known and that, and I agree with him. He should have a township phone. And I don't know if, is that something you want to handle?
Yes, I have the quote now.
Okay.
And was gonna get the board to approve it.
Okay.
In order to, for one single phone, the cost per month is $65, and the cost to lease to own the phone is another $20, so we're talking around $85 a month. We need to get approval that we're willing to pay that, and. then we
Who's that
go-
through?
Well,
Through
Ben,
Comcast or-
Ben wants Verizon service and he wants an
Okay.
iPhone. So
All right.
that's who it's through. So if the board agrees, someone can make a motion, that we agree to incur that expense and we can get the phone.
Any comment?
Do you have some paperwork for the minutes, so I have the specifics? So you just said 85, you have something you can show me?
I have to go print something off the website. Did not print anything off.
Okay, can we do that and then forward it to me so I have it, you know, the specifics? You said 85, you know, so that,
Yeah, it's basically, it's all done online, Craig, okay?
Okay.
So I would purchase the phone, agree to the terms of the contract, and then they'll send us an invoice. I don't know what there's,
Okay.
I can get I can't get anything until, you can go to the website and look at it yourself, but there's nothing to get at the moment.
How are you gonna purchase the phone? I mean, years ago, we had those MasterCards. I had a credit card for the township. I mean, it's been expired last November.
They can
It was
bill us,
a
they're gonna bill us,
yeah,
it's gonna be a service, it's
Can
gonna be
use your
billed to
PMO
us.
card.
Mine's good.
Oh, the cost of the phone's just gonna be billed in
I
service?
said that the monthly service is $65. The lease to own cost for the phone is another $20, for a total of $85 a month. That we would be billed $85 a month.
Right, and that could be done through the debit card, can it not?
Yeah. Do you want to put it on an automatic payment, or?
Or you don't want to do that?
No, you set up as an automatic payment, like the electric bill, you have monthly expense that comes in.
Okay.
Yes.
You can link it, if you have a debit card, you can link it. Now, it'll be more than $85 because they add all those fees on top of that.
Service.
Close to it. I got some of that already out of that.
Some of them were added in.
Yes.
All right. Someone make that motion?
I don't know, I don't have a problem with it.
Someone make the motion?
Okay, I will.
I'll second it. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Okay.
Ayes have it. All right, job description.
And
What?
Jerry,
Did you
now
need
this is
something?
$85 a month, right?
Approximately.
Okay.
All right, anything to add on the job descriptions?
Yes, I'm working on job descriptions, and when we have a new crew in here come January 1st, they will all get job descriptions. So we can, put that on every month, and that's gonna be what we're gonna do.
Anything on the next item, outstanding task to be done, filing, you're working with Carl
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
on the email and all that stuff?
and all of that is, most of the stuff is now on Gmail. And a lot of the sites have been changed, so that's in the works.
Okay.
Do you want to announce you have a new,
Pardon?
do you want to announce you have a new email?
Well, that's all done. I mean,
Yeah,
But
do
for
you
the-
want
for the
to
phone,
the
announce
website.
that, what the new?
well, it's on the website. You go on the website and it gives it right there.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted to say it or not.
Craig, what's the new email address?
What's the email address?
Administrator at,
Administrator at Windsor Township, Berks County .com.
All right, next item, professional services. Anything on that? All right, then we'll go to new business since we took care of Route 61. The road work, we opened bids, the resolution we took care of. Is there any other concerns, correspondence? Was that, you had said something last month about the application for or the information for the county convention.
That's taken care
It's
of.
all taken care of. And there was a check that had to go out with that.
That'll go out with this.
Okay. All right. Any other comment?
Yeah, there is one other concern that I thought Russ was gonna bring up tonight. You mentioned 2 months ago, and I think you mentioned an email about representation at the zoning hearing board coming up in 2 weeks.
thank you. Yes, so there is a zoning, this is the zoning hearing that involves the Kaufman property. And so the question is whether or not the township wants representation at that hearing, advocating for a position from the township. or to monitor, sometimes it's just to make sure that.
Are you gonna be our representative?
That's, well, the first question is whether you want a representative. The second part is whether you want it to be me, because I have represented Kaufman Roush in the past, not on this issue, on things that are completely unrelated. But I feel like it's appropriate for you to know that and be able to decide whether or not you want it to be me, or if you want me to contact someone to serve as special counsel to address that issue for the township.
Or what about, if we draft a letter to the zoning hearing board that the supervisors do not support a zoning change from residential to industrial?
You can do that.
Is that appropriate or not?
It's perfectly fine. It's not, it's done in many townships, that the supervisors or the board or the planning commission would submit a letter of their position.
Is that what they're asking for?
They're not asking for anything.
So we don't even, yeah, why do it if we don't even know what they're asking for?
I don't
We
think
just,
that-
we need to find out what they're asking.
Well, I don't think that they're asking for a zoning change. They're essentially making an argument that they've been doing this, on this property for so long, that they shouldn't, that the township should be stopped from stopping them from doing it because they've been doing it for so long. That's the argument that they're making.
Well, I'd rather let them, see them have the opportunity to present their case before any decision like that's made. I mean, that's my feeling on it, because we don't know what they're gonna ask for.
Well, what they're asking for is to be able to continue to do what they've been doing.
Well,
And that's why, when I first got the application, I raised the question of whether or not you wanted someone, you wanted me or someone else to be in attendance.
I wouldn't have a problem if you attend the meeting, because you're representing the township.
Correct. I don't see it as a conflict, but I like to be transparent about that.
Yeah, you can make that statement at the beginning, basically, so everyone in the audience knows it.
Right.
Any comment?
No,
Oh.
Of course, I don't have a problem with that.
So we need that in form of a motion?
I need a motion directing me to participate in the proceedings.
I'll make that motion, that he participates in the zoning hearing. Do I have a second?
Is it appropriate for me to second it because of the certain, that's what I meant. I should just stay out of it.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
And I abstain.
2 ayes and 1 abstain.
And am I correct that well, you need to tell me what your objective is, because I've heard two things, like, so Jerry, what I heard from you is you don't want to see the use change necessarily. And Dave, you said, I want to hear what they have to say. So when I'm there, what do you want me to be? Am I advocating for anything in particular, or?
Are we litigating this in public here? I'm willing to do that. Is that appropriate?
I think you can tell me what your objectives are. If you would rather speak in executive session.
No, I'll speak right now. I'm just asking you if it's appropriate.
Probably would be better to be in an executive session.
When they have this meeting, they don't have to make that decision, the board doesn't have to make that decision that night. Why don't you just go through the meeting and come back to us and explain what happened in your point of view?
I can, but there's no guarantee that they won't make the decision that night.
So
Well,
Russell,
could we, is there any way it can be tabled,
I don't have any control over that, because.
Could you make that recommendation that it's tabled until it's all brought back to the board? to see what the position is. I mean, it's a zoning hearing thing, we shouldn't even be involved in it anyway, correct?
No, you are always.
Because they're asking for relief.
The township is always a party to a zoning hearing. It's just that most of the time, there are things that are not, they're not worth you sending a representative to. This is a little bit of a different scenario, but a lot of times with zoning hearings, if they hear the evidence, they may go into executive session, make a decision, and come out and announce the decision. And a lot of times that's done for economic reasons, because you don't want to have to reconvene just to announce the decision, because now you got to pay everyone to come back, you got to pay the stenographer. all
Well,
that
the
stuff.
applicant's paying that.
I know, but these. So.
So Russell, this map it goes back
Mhm.
to 2009, okay?
Yep.
All right. The concerns is, from my standpoint, and lots of residents in the township, is there's zoning put in place. The property owners bought property across the road with the understanding that's residential. So it was established, the party that's is violating the zoning is in the construction business and deals with land development plans and construction and soil conservation and understands all that, okay?
Mhm.
And slowly encroaching that property over a number of years. And there's proof of that from, aerial photographs. So there's no hardship there. There's plenty of industrial land to put that operation on. So there's no hardship. If this is, in my opinion, allowed, then there's no point in having zoning, and we should all pack up and rent this building out to some contractor and call it quits. Pretty simple. There's certain people who've got to follow, are obligated to follow rules, and other ones think they don't have to. There's no hardship here. The cement plant there was there before, stayed on the industrial side, and then slowly encroached on that other side, that party did. It doesn't bother me, I don't live next to it, but my problem is if we allow this, then there's no point having zoning anywhere.
But that's why the zoning hearing board exists to
Well,
ask for
Russell
relief.
asked what the concern was, and I'm sure
Well, I'm
the
just
concern.
telling you, that's why the zoning hearing board exists, to ask for relief, and they're going through the process, that's all they're doing.
Right,
Wasn't
but-
stopping them,
Right. Can you forward me those pictures?
absolutely.
What's your position, Dave?
Hear them out.
What am I listening for?
Well, I mean, it's basically, it's our job to enforce the ordinances. It's the zoning hearing board's job to grant relief. It's basically up to the zoning hearing board, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Are you in agreement with providing the information that Jerry just talked about, to make sure that the zoning hearing board is aware?
Well, we have to provide our side of the case.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Well, Craig has to.
Yeah.
Has to abstain from this. So what I'll do is
Does he need another letter for that motion we just?
Yeah, you need to attach another one to the minutes. Just,
A recusal?
yeah.
Recusal letter?
So
Don't forget that.
what I'll do is I'll share that information that you compiled with the pictures. And, I'll make it clear that there seems to be room to put that material on the industrial side, and then, we'll listen to what they have to say. I assume, Jerry, are you gonna be at the hearing?
I can.
I mean,
Yeah.
and all
Anyone.
neighboring property owners, it'll be posted.
Yeah, it's
And
gonna be
everybody
posted.
has the opportunity to come and speak.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I speak in my role at that meeting?
I think you can. I mean, I think, and, I'm not, at this point, I'm not planning on calling anyone as a witness, more so using cross-examination as a way to try to get our point across, because I mean, I assume Ryan will be there because it's a zoning hearing. Yeah. But I'll have to look at the application a little bit more closely now and see if there's a reason for me to call a witness. I don't really want to belabor it and make it take longer than it needs to but I also want to make sure we get our point across.
My biggest problem is this. There's no hardship there. It was done at will. And if the board gives them relief, then I don't know, everybody can do whatever going forward and ask for relief.
Everybody has that opportunity. That's granted to everybody.
I understand.
I understand that part. The boards, you give it to one person, you have to start giving it to everybody. That's what the point is.
The board makes that decision. Not this board.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, the zoning hearing board has to weigh the equities, and, and that's their prerogative to make that decision.
That's why they're there.
Right, but we want to give
They're
them.
the common sense side of government. Really, we're just enforcing the ordinances. They do the job of granting relief.
Right.
Listen, I know because of circumstances, I shouldn't say, but if you look closely at the zoning maps, there's some inconsistencies with things. So I don't think it's appropriate for me to say things right now, but there are some inconsistencies as to how some of this was zoned.
Well, the problem with that is that if it's zoned incorrectly, then that should be corrected.
Well,
And that's, and there are two main ways that happens. You do it, or they file what's called a curative amendment and essentially ask you to do it formally. But the map and the boundaries are what they are right now.
yeah, you're right.
Any other comment?
Nope, that's it.
All right. I'd like to make, okay, with this expenditures, are we taking care of the May
Well, that was the
invoices
question I
from
had, because
SDE?
The invoice for May, none of that has been paid. And of
That
course,
check
now
was,
we have
that check
an
was
invoice.
void. We were gonna make a new
Well,
check.
There's a check here that has that amount on it. If we're paying the full amount, then we have the check, a new check then for the invoice for June.
As well.
Is that, I'm asking, is that what's happening?
There was a credit issued.
Yeah.
Have we seen the credit? You said there's a credit issue. We haven't seen a credit.
Yeah, it was emailed. The new invoice was emailed with the credit.
And that amount was for 4,000 something, I think
Yeah.
Craig said earlier.
Yeah.
That was that 4,000 amount that you talked about earlier.
The new email has a credit on it. Did you print the new monthly state invoice? Is that what you have there?
No, this is an old.
That comes from Linda, right?
Yeah.
Unless we redid it. Unless State Revenue did it.
Did you leave it over in the office?
When was that sent?
Pardon?
I believe shortly after the meeting.
And that credit was for what?
The couple hours that you questioned that we're dealing with,
Oh, yes, that is correct. There was what, 1 hour adjustment?
there was some credit.
There was, yeah, 1 hour adjustment. Do you have that email, that invoice?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. What, an hour adjustment, you're saying?
Yes, from the invoice stated,
From the May invoice.
The May 31st invoice, there was, I recall, I can't find it here at the moment, which would have been on June, right? June,
June 9th was the meeting. So
June 9th.
after that,
This is the June, this is the new invoice. That's the-
Okay,
Yeah, that's the one you're
That's the
looking
one that just
Yeah,
came.
this,
okay, but there's the corrected May invoice is what Pam was talking about. Do you have that? The corrected May invoice. Do you have it, Pamela?
No, I'm looking here, I don't see a hard copy yet.
This is the thing for the advertisement.
Okay.
Came to the attention.
Can I keep this?
Yeah, that's the one that's gonna be reimbursed to the
You
township.
got it, so you're not paying it, I'm paying it.
All right.
I'm gonna take this with me, you got it.
Howard, I don't know if you can pay that directly, because the invoice is made out to the township. Are they gonna re-invoice you?
No, there's no contract with us.
So when you send that,
So I'm gonna check with our HR account payable person if we can cut the check
okay.
and get back to Craig.
I can't, for some reason, I can't find that corrected invoice.
There was a corrected invoice.
I thought there was, but I can't seem to find it here. So Craig, the question comes back to this, the check for 2 months that you have written out there, right? Do you have a total? What's the check amount?
For which one?
May.
You said you had it down for both. You got them combined or you got them separate?
We do two checks.
2 checks, okay? What do you have for May?
Right here.
that was 13,000.
That was the invoice, full invoice amount.
Okay, so this is incorrect. There's a corrected
Check the
invoice for
minutes
this
are
month. I can't put my hands on it at the moment. And it's essentially gonna be about $200 less.
Okay.
And
And if we
my,
need to roll the credit into the July, yeah,
All right.
that's up to you guys.
yeah, we can do that. Tomorrow, send us an email for the credit for that, and find out if you can able to pay that invoice directly. I don't think you can, that's not
Well,
proper.
we're gonna check.
It should be proper that we pay and you reimburse us,
If
all
you
right?
wanna do that right
I-
now,
I-
that's fine.
I think that's the way to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, well then,
Well, then I'm gonna mark the dollar amount down.
Okay,
so
that's
I know.
fine, yes. And then that $855 for
And I
Russell.
have that already.
Okay,
are you gonna,
I'm just making the amount so we can get the check. Here, you can have this back, Craig.
This one is gonna be 40, right? That's for the May invoice, but you're gonna,
we're gonna
No, it's
pay
for the
that,
credit.
they're gonna
Yeah.
credit us back for that difference, credit us back for Russell's cost, and the re-advertisement. Three lines come back to us. You pay the full invoices that we have.
But the credit will be taken off the July invoice. We will cut checks for those 2 amounts.
Okay,
Is what
all
I
right.
think. I'm gonna
Okay,
check
all
again.
right.
That's how I'm
All right,
thinking that.
That's
the-
fine,
the
I'm
company
okay, I'm
president-
okay with that.
Just to make you, right, what we agree with, but to make sure that the credit.
yeah, rather than you
is
sending us a check,
represented.
you're just gonna credit us in July.
Credit us
Yeah.
for the
okay, so
detail.
this is gonna be the full payment for the
All
May.
that for May.
This is the June.
For June.
Yes.
All
So
right.
we'll just, this check will be, it's actually dated June 11, but it wasn't matter because it was made out for last month.
Okay,
But Doesn't matter. Okay?
No.
All right, so someone make the motion that we pay the bill then.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Any reason to go in executive session after? No? All right, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes have it.